please. No one talk. Just remember to talk fast.
Welcome to Inside Westside Kickoff Edition, where we're here at Bentonville West High School, and on the softball field we have a historic matchup tonight between Bentonville and Bentonville West, as it's the Battle Down 102, and not just that, it's the conference championship game. The stakes have never been higher. It's the biggest Battle Down 102 ever. It's a rivalry game, but plus it's the conference championship game for the 7A West. The winner today is likely to be the conference champion. Austin, could you take me through that?
Yeah, so basically West is in second and third place with Rogers in second and BHS in first. If we beat BHS by 4 or more points, we will become the 1 seed. And if we lose to BHS, we have a chance to become the 2nd seed. And Rogers is either going to get to second or third place. So that's your standings for the possible scenarios for tonight.
So Rogers has no chance to be that 1 seed, but tonight the Wolverines and the Tigers both do. And talking about being the first, Lexi, I know you had a kind of an interview with Trey.
Yeah, so I am an intern with Prep Sports Arkansas, and I was given the opportunity to interview Trey Thompson earlier this season, right before our game against Fayetteville, actually, with that upset. And one of our biggest points was be the first. We talked a lot about that and how they're implementing that into their game this year. It's been a lot of firsts for West this year. I mean, this is our first conference championship, especially hosting it, let alone participating, which is fantastic. The energy tonight's electric. I love it. We also the chemistry that was built throughout this team this year, and it's definitely translating on the field. They've been connecting more passes, just an overall better environment.
Yeah, Coach Pratt told us a lot about the team and like how it's the same team as last year. There's very few differences, and it's unbelievable how a team like this that doesn't change goes from being 0-6 one year to the next year hosting conference championship, and now here we are. So let's just dive right into the game, Austin.
Yeah, so we have BAWHS versus Bentonville High School tonight. One of the big factors I feel for West tonight is get that run game going for BJ Warren, as we know is the sophomore running back here at Bentonville West, and I feel like if we get him going, he can have a big game. If we have Ryan Adjum and Jackson Lane, our receivers for Bentonville West, I think we can have a great game. And if Trey's just on point tonight, I think we have a really good chance.
Yeah, and then I want to talk a little bit defensively about the run game as well. You know, Bentonville likes to run the ball, and they're smart. They've been here before. This is a situation they're used to being in, and if they just have to hand the ball off every time to be successful tonight, they have no issue doing that. I mean, you see Cole Sapecki, their quarterback. You see Trey Irvin. You see Daquan Prevo. I mean, all these D1 guys, and it's like you just feel like they're going to throw the ball, so you want to space out your defense, but really you have to be ready for the ground game, because that can really hurt you. It'll suck time off the clock, it'll tire out the defense, and it'll really give you no chance to win the game.
Yeah, and defensively for West, we all know that Cole Allen is now out for this game, but Brady Jones is back into the game. So Ashton Jones and Brady Jones will be in the backfield for the Wolverines. And Bryson Johnson has been found to be 100% for tonight's game, so he'll be back for that defensive line, which we all know has been a real big thing for the Wolverines this year, and especially against Greenwood, where Bryson Johnson and that defensive line have really kept Kane Archer in check that game, which I think if they do that again tonight, I think we have a good chance.
Lex, do you have any keys?
I think speed is going to be a contributing factor tonight. We are obviously a very fast team on both sides of the ball. Offensively, like you said, we have Ryan Adjum, we have Jackson Lane, Trey Thompson. We have a lot of speedy players, and I think that's going to be our key tonight, running through the middle, finding space. And defensively, I mean, we have Dane Rennick, Ashton Jones, Braden Jones now. That's going to be very helpful in stopping the Tiger offense.
Yeah, I completely agree. And another thing I want to talk about is VJ Warren. He went out of the game. We've seen him have some really huge games, considering, I mean, he's a sophomore. So, I mean, it's really hard for somebody like that to step in like the way he did at the end of last year. And he's been so explosive. He came in as a backup, but it was really more of a platoon with him and Braden Nash. But B. Nash goes down, obviously. We hate to see it, but it's really opened the door for VJ, and we're going to get to see 2 more years of him. I mean, he's had 300-yard performances as a sophomore, and talking about speed. He went out last week at the end of that game, but he was able to come back this week. He logged a few limited practices, but he's a full go tonight, and I think he's going to be a huge part of the Wolverines' wins tonight.
Speaking of coming back, we have Nick Byrne, who rested last week against Northside with Ethan Robinson to start. But now Nick Byrne's back. I really believe that the little things are going to be the difference tonight when it comes to special teams, especially if it comes down to it.
Yeah, the crowd's excited, and that's going to be another key for me. I think that the noise is going to be crazy on both sides. I mean, we can see a lot of Bentonville people here, a lot of a lot of Bentonville West people here. It's going to be a big matchup, and for these big rivalry games, conference championship games, you have to be ready for the noise that the crowd's going to be, because you don't really think about it because you're at home. You're like, okay, we're the home team. This is going to help us out a lot more, and it's not going to hurt us. But it's going to be a little different because Bentonville's right across town, and there's going to be so many people coming across town, and you got to avoid false starts. And you got to avoid other things like offsides. They clap for motion instead of at the snap, and that's a big difference for these guys. And I know they've been working on it for a long time. I've talked to some of the players, and they've done a good job handling business in not looking forward to this game, but now this game's here, and it's time to lock in for this game. Stay on sides. Don't give this undefeated team a free 5 yards because it's not a good recipe to win.
Yeah, and I would also agree with the fact of your noise comparison there. With a lot of players coming in and with all the noise around them, they're not going to be able to hear as well. With both of the crowds coming out tonight for a big game against the Wolverines and Tigers, I feel like we could have a lot of trouble with the offsides for both teams, and partially because of the fact of how loud our student sections will get. And I think this is one of the biggest games of the year, so I feel that they will have a lot of noise coming in because BHS not too far from home, so there will be a chance of more people coming out for the student section for them tonight. So I feel like there's a big chance of a lot of noise tonight, and it's going to get wild.
Yeah, and speaking of the crowds, we've got an awesome crowd behind us, and they've been out back there dancing and everything. And we did a sign challenge this week, and we have a sign back there, and it's pretty good.
Haven't seen it.
I like the sign. It's a really good sign. So we're gonna have to bring the sign up. Who wants an interview? Want an interview? 2 questions. First off, which camera? Okay, so look at the middle camera. Okay, what's your favorite ice cream?
Maybe mint chocolate chips.
Do you have a favorite place?
I love hanging out with my family and going to the beach.
And then who's winning tonight?
We are West! Let's go!
Volleyball team wins 12 months free ice cream.
Yay, thank you so much!
You know that now?
That's a great surprise for them.
Now we have a special guest to bring on the broadcast. Celebrity guest picker. He's a celebrity around here. Our basketball team had some questions last year, and we weren't 100% sure how the season was going to go. I mean, welcoming in a lot of new coaches, a lot of new players, and we are joined by head coach, Coach Lloyd.
How are you guys?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good, really Really good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll ask you a few basketball questions first before we get into the game picks.
Yes.
First question, when it comes into non-conference scheduling, you schedule so many games, and what goes into which games you schedule and when you schedule?
Yeah, I think you're looking to see a different style of opponent. You're looking to see, teams that are going to pressure you. You're looking to see teams that are going to play some zone. For us, we've got a lot of guys coming back that have minutes, and so we're looking to go up and play top-notch opponents and see what we're made of. So, when we get into conference play, we want to know kind of who we are already and not have to find that out in conference. And so that's what non-conference is for. In basketball, when you have the amount of games we have in non-conference, you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, speaking of minutes for your players, you have a lot of talent on this team with Landon Price coming in, and he's a great talent with Drake Tidwell and everything like that. I was just wondering, how do you figure out minutes for that team, because you have so many great players that could definitely play for this team?
I think in basketball, when you're playing 30 games, 30-plus games, you've got to be careful early playing someone like Landon a ton. But, I think that's our job as a coaching staff, is to figure out who plays well together. I think when you do have depth, you have to use that, and with the style of play sometimes. So, you may see us picking up, pressuring more than you did last year, because we do have the bodies to be able to do that. But, I do think we have depth. I think that we are 9, 10, 11 deep, guys that are very capable of doing good things for us.
Awesome. When it comes to non-con as well as our conference, who do you have circled on your calendar? Who are you really excited to play this season?
I think when it comes to the 6A West, there's a lot of teams. I think this year the conference is more open than it's ever been as far as who can go, make a run. And so, I think night in, night out, the opponent's not going to matter. I think you're going to be excited about it. Obviously, Fayetteville, Bentonville, those names always, pop up on the calendar. But, this team, it's a one game at a time type mentality for them. And so, whoever we're playing next is the biggest game of the year.
Last question before getting to game picks. Is there a certain non-conference game at home that you really advise everybody watching to come out to?
We're starting something for the first time this year called the X&A Showcase. And so us and BHS are both going to host it together. One day will be at BHS, one day will be at West. This year, December 19 and 20. On the 19th, it'll be at BHS, but Saturday, December 20th, it'll be at West. A lot of great basketball, top-tier talent in the area, not just the state, but surrounding states, will all be at Bentonville West High School, showcasing their ability. So it'll be a great time to come out and watch the West Wolverines as well.
I know there's going to be some big-time talent at that one. And let's go ahead and get into the game picks. First one is Harbor against Fayetteville. I'll start it off. A lot of people thought Fayetteville was going to be a top team this year, in the top 3 or 4 with, us, the Wolverines, Bentonville, with Rogers, but they kind of haven't. They've lost all 3 of those games, and they sit at 3-3 in the conference. And I feel like Harbor sitting at 2-4, they feel like that's not a bad thing. They feel like it's going to be a different mindset for Harbor. They like where they're at the season with their new coach, Coach Dannenhauer, in his first year. And I think that the Harbor Wildcats are going to go to Fayetteville, and I think they're going to beat them.
Great points for you there, but I feel that with Fayetteville coming in, they had some people graduate, but I feel like they've been a really good team. I think they still have the power to be a top team in the West. They haven't had it this year, but I think recently they've been on a good roll, and I'm going to take Fayetteville for this one over Harbor.
I'm going to have to agree with Austin on this one. The Harbor Wildcats cannot afford another loss, and I know they're fighting for placement right now. But at the end of the day, I really believe that Fayetteville, they know their roots, they know how to win, they've been consistent in the past, and I think they're going to fight for that spot.
Yeah, and I'm going to go Fayetteville as well. Coach Dick knows the importance of going into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. Harbor is one game behind them, but at the same time, Fayetteville, the back end of their schedule has been very favorable for them to have, some confidence. So they've got Hank Hendricks at quarterback. If their offensive line can hold up and give him time to be able to get the ball to his weapons, I think you'll see Fayetteville big in this one.
All right, next one, we have a huge matchup between Bryant and Conway. This is very similar to this matchup here. It's conference championship. This game's going to be played at Conway, but I think Bryant's too much. I mean, Bryant's got a lot of talent. It's like an hour trip for him. That's not going to be easy, but I trust Bryant. You look at the scores of their games this year. I mean, they're dominating every single week, and I just think they're just going to be a little bit too much for Conway.
great points, but I feel that with Conway being at home and everything like that, I feel they're going to have a big crowd and a big energy over there, and they've been a really good team this year as well. So I feel that I'm going to take the upset here. I'm going to go with Conway.
I'm going to have to agree with Kaden on this one, actually. Bryant is a force to be reckoned with, and I believe that they're going to continue that. Their defense last week against Little Rock Christian was very dominant, and Conway tends to run through the middle quite a bit, and you just can't do that against Bryant. They're going to hold you back. And at the end of the day, I think they're coming out on top.
Yes, 9-0 Bryant versus 8-1 Conway. The only loss for Conway is to the Bentonville Tigers. So, I think the roster Bryant's got, I saw someone had them as a top 5 team nationally right now. They've got Division I talent across the board, offensively and defensively. They've got depth. They're just going to try to pretty much manhandle their opponent, and I think you're going to see that tonight as well. I'm going Bryant.
All right, now the game. Everybody's here to watch, all the fans. Well, why we're here, it's the Bentonville West Wolverines and the Bentonville Tigers. I'll let Austin start this one off.
So West has a great bunch of weapons in their arsenal with Ryan Adjun, VJ Warren, and Jackson Lane, and Trey Thompson, who has had a great year so far. And also we have BHS with some of the great players and great talent they have over there. But obviously I'm going to take West winning this one. It's a conference championship. West has always won it over the last 10 years, and I feel like this is the year that we can get it.
I agree with Austin on this one. I mean, BHS is used to these situations, being some of the best in the conference or the state even, and this is a huge opportunity for Bentonville West. I believe that we're motivated, we're hungry for this win, and we can make it happen, come out on top.
Yeah, this game comes down to the big play. Can Bentonville West prevent the Tigers from making the big play? They've got Prevost, they've got Blair, they've got Schultz out there on the perimeter, and they've got Ficklin at running back. Bentonville's looking to make the big play happen. Can our defense not allow that? We have to make them earn everything. But tonight, I think this comes down to Trey Thompson. I think Trey Thompson's the best player on the football field. I think he's the most underrated player in the state. I think he's going to show that in the Wolverines. They are going to dominate time of possession and win this game tonight.
I like it, but everybody talks about how Bentonville is number 3 in the country. They've got all these weapons. They have all these people. It's like, why not the Tigers? Max Preps has them at number 3 in the nation as a sporting program. Prep Sports Arkansas has them at number 2 in the state. West is all the way down at 8. Bentonville hasn't lost all season long. Somebody help me with this. The Tigers are a force to be reckoned with, just like Bryant. Last year, they were in the state title game. You have these D1 athletes all over the field at receiver. So how could you not pick the Tigers? It's almost like a home game for them, right? It's just across town, but it's not. The Tigers aren't going to win this game. It's the Bentonville West Wolverines. We're taking down the Tigers tonight. It's going to be the defense. The defense is going to take them down. We're going to be able to stop the run, load the box, and we're getting pieces in the secondary back, and we're going to be able to guard the Division I receivers.
I like that.
And that pretty much does it for us here. Make sure to come out, and you got to see this game in person. The first ever conference championship game at Wolverine Stadium here at Bentonville West. It's an absolute. It's going to be an incredible game. Thank you to everyone back here for showing up. 7 o'clock, be at the football field for kickoff. We will see you there. Have a good one.